Richard,
Mm.
we're recording, by the way.
Oh, are we starting to record?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just
I
put
just
it here.
I like to surprise people.
Oh, yeah.
Beanie Bong. Nice
Okay,
house, by the way.
thank you.
And you're
But
hey?
I won't show my bad
Yeah, and all
parts.
your mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So safe to say your auntie is Christian or something.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can see the cross over
Crosses
there.
everywhere.
Oh, yeah, Christian Catholic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, is she
So I
Catholic?
so I was raised in somewhat like a Catholic household.
Yeah.
But yeah, here I am right now. Should I bring my card deck or something?
Okay, there you are. Hello.
Hello there.
How are you? Fancy meeting you here.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. So, what have you been doing lately?
Nothing much. I
Hey,
actually
you've got your shirt on upside down.
no, it's the design is like that.
Yeah.
Like wrong way, going
Yeah.
upside down.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta laugh. But I made
Yeah.
you look, didn't I?
Well,
I made you look because
yeah,
if you
I
had
did.
it, if you had it on upside down, the neck could have been down the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it is written wrong, so it's obviously the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite funny.
Yeah.
Um.
I just
So,
finished. Well, not finished. I had like a meditation session this morning in the class.
yeah.
It was really good, and a bit of spiritual class. But yeah, that's
Was
what
it
I've
in a
been doing.
particular, when you say in a class, was it in a class that you're studying or was it in a proper meditational class?
It's a proper meditation class.
Yep.
The spiritual group is called Brahma Kumari. So basically, they teach meditation.
Yeah.
And after meditating, they will do this spiritual teaching where today we talk about, I forgot what we talk about, but the essence is something like if you want to do something, be courageous about it, have
Yep.
confidence, and when you put your effort in, the divine will come and help you. So basically that's the essence for today
Oh, yeah,
lesson.
okay. Well, that's very, very true.
Yeah, true.
Logistics will tell you that anyway.
Correct.
You know, what you
Is
put in is
that
what you're going
better?
to get out of it. So
Right.
let's talk about you anyway. Let's talk about how long you've been doing readings for now for people.
Well, now, I started, well, the first time I got my deck was when I was 13 years old.
Yep.
So when you count it from there, it's almost
A
9 to
year
10
now.
years. Yes, sir. How much? 40, 50, 60,
It's been a
70, 80,
year.
90, 91, 92, 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years of reading, but professionally it's 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing with scissors? Don't
Yeah.
play with scissors. I find that threatening.
It's like 9 years. Well,
No, that's
9 years
cool.
of me experiencing stuff.
No, well, that's it. You've got to start somewhere anyway. At the end of the day,
Yeah, true.
Did you find that you were aware of having a gift prior to getting those cards? Were those cards a gift, or did you buy them yourself? How did you discover
I
that you
got
had
it.
this gift, this capability?
I to be honest, I didn't know that I have this gift. All I know that I have this interest in. When I was younger, a young child, I was always fascinated by the tarot cards.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, how on earth this pack of cards can predict the future? That's the most curious thing about it. I don't know that I have a gift that time. So when I was 13 on a holiday,
Yeah.
I found this pack of cards. It's not really a tarot card. It's more like an oracle card called Message from the Angels. If I were to talk about this, I might have it somewhere here, but never mind. That's my first deck to start off. So that's why I'm really in love with angels, and I work with angels a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I started with them.
Yeah, and is there any particular angels that you like to work with, that you prefer to work with?
Usually it's Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael,
Mm-hmm.
but since my work consists of healing works, I do Reiki as well as I love energy healing, so I work with Archangel Raphael the most.
Yeah. Well, they're a good choice because it's the protector and the healer, basically. So,
Correct.
with regards to what you do, it would make sense that you would pick them. And they're probably,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say they're probably the most popular out of the lot of them. Every time I speak
Yeah,
to someone,
correct.
they're always Archangel Michael, Raphael, blah blah blah.
Mm,
I work with
yeah,
them
yeah,
myself a little bit sometimes as well, so I can relate to
mm-hmm.
why you do as well.
Mm-hmm. Correct. There's this one angel though that's very suitable for counselor as well as therapists like us,
Yep.
even card readers. Archangel Azrael, who is the angel of, well, he's considered as a Grim Reaper, if you could say that, but he has this quality about him that is comforting, and he is considered as the counselor in the angelic realm.
Yep.
So he does tend to help people who counsel people, even those who are tarot readers or oracle card reader. We do counsel people, right?
Yep.
So this archangel tend to come such stack of cards. So message from the angels or.
Oh yeah, they're a nice deck.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love this card. I use this for a long time to the point that certain cards have its own particular meaning. Especially there's this one card. I asked the angels to only specifically use this card to indicate a deceased or past loved one sending a message of "I love you" to the clients, and it really popped up. And then when it did, it is usually mean that they have like someone they love already passed over last few months or at least 1 or 2 years prior hand.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's interesting. And tell me, what do you foresee or want for your future as a reader? Where do you want to go with these readings that you've been doing professionally?
Well, there's this one vision that I have. I just call it as traveling angel, meaning that I go from state to state doing angel reading, as well as tarot reading at events and stuff. And I can see that will happening very, very soon, which is a really good goal to go. Because right now, I'm not sure yet, but particularly where I am right now in Malaysia, tarot card reading, angel card reading are not that mainstream. Not a lot of people know about it, and if they do, it's like very rare. So I feel that in the future, I would like to do more angel reading, not only private, but as well as events as well. And it's very fun if you can go for different states. Like, hey, I'm an angel reader and doing this.
Yeah, that's a great goal. So let's talk about like how you met me. How did you meet me? Do you remember?
Oh yes, I do. It's very interesting.
Oh, do tell.
I met you when I think it was 4 to 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, on a Facebook post that I did on Feisty Witch, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And Feisty, I'm doing this, how do you call this, like practice reading using angel card.
Yeah.
And I choose people based on who I feel needed the reading. If not, the angel says, this is the person, this is the person.
Yeah.
And then actually, there's this one lady who's supposed to do the reading, the one that is above your name, but she didn't reply to me. I waited for 1 day, she didn't reply anything. It's like, hey, do you want a reading? She did say, yes, I want a reading, but I need like their name and the question, but she didn't reply for 1 day. So just go one step down, which is you. So that's how I meet you.
Ta-da!
And we have, ta-da! And then we have a very wonderful reading. And yeah.
Do you know that's funny? That's funny because you know I don't even remember that. I remember it was on Feisty Witches, and I knew it was we were interacting somehow somewhere in there. But that's actually all I remember. I just remembered that I liked your energy and stuff, and I was quite drawn to you. So I had a good feeling. So I thought, oh, I'll just see where this goes. That's what I remember. I don't even remember that part of it. So your memory's better than mine.
because it's the most interesting event ever. I mean, like we've been friends for the past, I don't know, 4 to 5 years. How long already? I don't know. It feels like almost a decade.
And would you consider me to be a mentor to you?
Yes, a friend and a mentor, because from time to time again, I do appreciate as well as notice that you do teach things that you couldn't find anywhere in books or YouTube videos or something like that. It's more to a life experience. You've been doing this for the past, how long? 30 years?
Yeah, over 30 years,
Over 30 years. So these kind of things are only available if you have that
you're either natural born or you've got that life experience.
Correct. And then you know the do's and the don'ts, which is far valuable than any books that is available on the market.
Yeah.
Maybe you will make a book about it one day.
Yeah, well, I have started writing one.
Ooh, nice. Can I see it?
Not yet, but you will.
Next time.
I've got a few actually. I've got a few books in the pipeline. I've got a few books in the pipeline. I've got one that's actually my life story as a natural born psychic medium. It really delves into the fact that we, not all of us, but often a lot of us, I suppose, natural born psychic mediums don't necessarily have easy lives. Like a lot of people think we've got it all figured out and that our own personal life is hunky-dory and all that sort of stuff. So I talk about my complete upbringing, abuse in the family and all that sort of stuff. So I've got that book in the pipeline, and that talks about what it's actually really like to be a psychic medium and the things that we go through as psychic mediums, and actually how difficult and dangerous it is. So I suppose in a sense it's the truth. It's the complete truth as it was, and it might make people think twice about jumping on a bandwagon or pretending to be a reader when they're not, stuff like that. Yeah, and I've got a couple of others in the pipeline, and one is talking about that stuff that you were talking about, teaching people stuff that isn't going to necessarily come to them naturally and isn't necessarily out there on the market already. So yeah.
Correct.
And I won't give too much away about the third one, but you'll find out about that.
I'll read it. I have like two questions. One is I forgot, but one thing is like, how do you define psychic medium? Because a lot of people have different definition. How do you define what is a psychic medium?
Well, I consider myself.
What is a natural psychic medium?
Yeah. So to me, when you're a natural born psychic medium, it means that's all you've ever known. It came to you straight away as a small child. It's always been there. But to me, that's what a natural born psychic medium is. But the actual definitions of psychics and mediums and all that, as you know, vary. I mean, I actually consider myself to be a clairvoyant as well. I actually have all gifts from the entire spectrum. So I'm an empath. I'm clairvoyant. I can hear, see, smell, blah, blah. I can do it all. But for me, none of those gifts outweigh the other. It's a combined gift. And I suppose essentially you'll use whatever, and you'll use whatever is relevant to that person. But the actual term psychic medium means that you can see the past, the present, and the future, and that you're working with a spirit. So I work with angels, and I work with people who've passed over, and then I also will talk to and read with dead people. So to me, that's what a psychic medium is. However, there is a bit of an argument about psychic medium, and not everyone is a medium, and there's a bit of about the term, but I tick all the boxes anyway, essentially, so it doesn't really matter, and isn't that concern isn't really applicable to myself. So
I mean, like, I'm not sure if it is appropriate to ask about how do you know if we know the term psychic already, right?
Yeah.
So the part medium. Nowadays we have a lot of TV shows like the Tyler Henry, Teresa Caputo. But how do you know if a medium is genuine enough? They're not like what I call a novice or just a bit, but really professional in their way. Like, how do you know they are legit?
How do you know for sure? Well, if they're a medium, suggesting they're a medium in the sense that they're trying to speak to passed over loved ones, which those people that you've just mentioned usually do, you're only going to know they're genuine really if they're really hitting the mark on stuff. Like if they're saying stuff that you can totally relate to, that person would have said, you know, they're able to accurately describe things and traits about them, then you'll know that that's a genuine psychic medium. Oh, sorry, a medium. But it's really just experiencing those people. But unfortunately, there are a lot of nutcases in this world, as you will know, and would have already experienced yourself, who think that they're mediums and they're not. They're just a little bit kooky. But also the other thing is, you know, somebody just has one little thing happen to them, or they have a really small gift, and the next minute they think they are a psychic or a medium and stuff like that. But it could just be in some cases that it's just a random once-off interference. Yeah, from a spirit, you know what I mean? Like, I was actually having this conversation with someone the other day, and I've been saying this for years, and you will know because you and I have probably had this conversation, I'm sure. But I believe that a lot of people in mental health institutions are probably under psychic attack, demon attack, spirit attack, getting attacked by a person that's passed over, like haunted, I suppose, essentially, and they don't know how to shut down from that. And I actually had somebody ring me recently and tell me that they watched something, I think on TV or read something somewhere, saying exactly that. They're now coming to realise that some of these people actually don't have real. I mean, the thing is, it's got to a point, obviously, where it's pushed them over the edge mentally and emotionally. But there's been cases where these people do think they have got the gift, and perhaps they do a little bit, but they're unable to control it, and they're constantly under this attack. So
they need a proper psychic protection or meditation, or at least a firm foundation in training, at least to help them a bit.
And the other thing is as well, and the other thing is as well, how to tell the difference, going back to what your actual question was, is someone who can actually read a lot of people without any issue. So, sometimes I'll keep on hearing stories about these psychics, clairvoyants and mediums or whatever that can't always read someone or are having issues with a spirit coming through and all that. I can say, actually, honestly, if you're genuine, you shouldn't really have too much of an issue with it. Yes, sometimes spirits won't come out until the end of the conversation, end of the reading, because they weren't comfortable to do so prior to that. Or, you needed to warm up to them. But, yeah, anyone who's saying, oh, I can't connect or nothing's coming through, to me, I don't think they're genuine.
They're not, how do you call it? Their level is not there yet to connect easily. It's like,
and look, everyone has to start somewhere, and you do need to practice. But I think at the end of the day, if people are going to suggest that they're professionals, they need to be honest and say, look, I have only been doing it for a few years. I've only ever read for a couple of people, and I need to practice. You have an obligation.
So continuing on the conversation where we talk about mediums, a psychic medium, me personally, I don't do mediumship because one thing is a bit scary for me, and another thing is responsibility, because I do not want to carry the responsibility of me giving the message of your dear departed loved one to a living human being. I'm afraid of, well, if you have enough practice, then you'll not be afraid, right? But I'm afraid that if I might say something wrong or I don't deliver it as much as I can, so I don't like to have those responsibility. And to me, when I channel the message from the angels, it's far more easier, as well as it's more light. So there's not a lot of burden attached to it. And that's why when a person or people do mediumship, like genuine mediums, I always respect them more because they do things that I couldn't, which I personally tell to the angels, never, ever, ever do a surprise medium reading. It's like, I don't like that. But they do sometimes. They do that because that person, that client really need it. And especially when this card pop up. This is the card that I mentioned just now.
Just take it back a little bit. Back from the screen a little bit. Okay, stop there. Okay, cool. Do you know what? It's actually really good that you said that, because it shows a great maturity in what you're doing, that you're willing to be honest and say you don't want to do that, you can't do it. And, you don't necessarily not have the confidence to do it, but you know that you're not at a point in your life where you can deliver on that. And do you know what? not
Mm-hmm.
everyone's meant to be a medium anyway. It's
Yeah.
probably not necessarily all that it's cracked up to be anyway. So it's good that you're
Mm-hmm.
willing to accept and to be honest with people and say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going there. You know, you don't have to
Yeah,
be good at
correct.
every little thing, and you don't have to do
Mm-hmm.
every little thing. You know, you might decide in 10 years' time that you want to have a go at it, but at the end of the day, the fact that you're scared
Mm-hmm.
says that you're not ready for it anyway. So it's good that you are
Correct.
being responsible. That's the key
And
thing, being a
honest about it.
responsible reader, and that's really good to see. I'm impressed
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah. And then the only moment that I deliver a message from a deceased loved one is like this card pop
Yep.
up, or the angels like, this is the message,
Yeah,
and
and it's
only
very
that, like only
exactly.
on the
Yep.
rare occurrence, and
Yep.
I'm okay with it. It's not like, oh, I do mediumship, blah blah blah. No, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no,
It's just
it's
like,
good. It's very good that you like that. Now, listen,
yeah.
in my shows as well, I like to talk about. Sorry, I'm just turning my phone off because everyone's messaging.
It's
I
okay.
like to talk about a different crystal every week. So this week I want to
Ooh,
talk
nice.
about rose quartz.
Oh, okay,
I love
cool.
rose quartz.
Okay.
So
Oh, I actually own.
tell me everything you know about rose quartz anyway. Let's
All
hear what
right.
you've got.
I have a rose quartz bracelet. Do you want me to get it first, or let's just
No,
talk
it
about
doesn't matter.
rose
Just talk
quartz?
about
Okay. I
it.
consider rose quartz as a very angelic crystal because
Mhm.
it's so soft, it's so smooth. The energy is so vibrant. It's
Yep.
not vibrant as like I have here. This is a tiger's eye.
Yep.
Tiger eye are more masculine,
Yep.
while rose quartz are more feminine. It's so
Yep.
soft. It's like a softener.
Yeah.
And whenever I use a rose quartz, I feel more calm and tend to be more feminine, compassionate, a
Yep.
bit more softer in energy.
Yep.
And yeah, I feel that rose quartz is really good crystal to use to not only to improve our love life, but as well as our relationship with everyone. It does improve the aura of that energy of the place.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So to
Mm-hmm.
me, rose quartz is all about love and healing, and the people who
Mm-hmm.
benefit from it are people who, I guess, essentially love too much. So it's people who are
Mm-hmm.
looking for relationships as well that might be single, and perhaps
Mm-hmm.
they keep on hitting brick walls finding love, and perhaps they're even being accused
Mm-hmm.
of being needy or being
Mm-hmm.
too full on in that way. That can people like that can
Mm-hmm.
really benefit from rose quartz, and it's definitely a
Mm-hmm.
healing stone, and again, obviously in relation
It
to
is.
love.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's what I sort of know about rose quartz. I've always just related it to love, and if you're looking for love, if you needing some healing, you know, and like even if
Okay.
you've got, yeah, and if you've got problems with family as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and but I think, you know, like anything, like any crystal, you've got to really be able to connect to it as well. And so I think people forget
True.
about the little things, you know, like for me with the rose quartz, if you're feeling a little bit heartbroken, you know, you might be able to
Mm,
place it on your heart and close your eyes,
mm,
meditate on it, try and feel it, you know, like try and connect with that energy.
mm,
And in that sense, it will heal you. It's
mm.
almost like self-healing, I suppose. But I love
Correct.
rose quartz. I think
It's
it's
like
great.
it is. It's
Yep.
a comforting angel, I call it. And the thing is, the rose quartz I always wear is a bracelet.
Yep.
It's not only a rose quartz, but it also includes angel light. So there's that emphasis on the angelic love as well as
Yeah,
the
that's
angelic
nice.
energy to help through.
Yeah,
So it's kind
particularly.
of like three in one.
Yeah, no, that's really
Particularly, yeah.
good. And it makes sense and
Mm-hmm.
it's relevant, particularly if you're working with angels in your work as well. So you're trying to
Yeah.
get that loving
Yeah.
angelic feeling there. So, you know, I would say to people if you having a hard time or you're trying to attract a love mate, you know, get the rose quartz, hold it on your heart, close your eyes and try and put that same loving feeling into that rose quartz like you would
Mm-hmm.
a person or a relationship. And then ultimately, you're kind of
Mm-hmm.
putting that out
Yeah.
to the universe and hopefully bringing that back into you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry,
And
continue.
another thing about rose quartz, it's a quartz family, and usually quartz family are the family that amplify the energy.
Yep.
So once you have the intention to amplify the love healing,
Hmm.
it is easier to attract compared to other crystal. I found that other crystal tend to work a bit slower. Quartz, anything under the quartz crystal, they tend to work a bit more faster because of this quartz element.
Yeah. And
That's
I think
from my
rose
own
quartz is
experience.
definitely sort of like should be the centerpiece of every room just about in your house if you're trying to promote love and calmness as well
Correct.
within like family members. I know a lot of people will keep it in their bedroom, but there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't have it in every other room, including the toilet if you really wanted to.
Can just put one tiny pebble size. It is enough actually. It kind of like create grids around the house.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I virtually have it so that essentially it's a bit of a grid around the house, so the house and the people in the home are protected without even probably realizing.
Correct. And one thing I realize is that most people, well, most of them, they put crystal in a bedroom, right? I
Yep.
try not to put it near to my head or wearing it when I sleep because maybe like I said just now, it amplifies the energy, right?
Yep.
So whenever I go to sleep, if I wear any kind of crystal, somehow I got really weird dreams, and it just disturbed my sleeping pattern. Oh yes, that's why I never sleep with a crystal on my wrist or near to my head. And then usually when people advise, oh, put crystal under your bed or near to your bed, I was like, no, it doesn't work for me because it gives me very, very weird dreams, like really, legitly weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because it affects everyone differently. I'll tell you what I do have near my head in myself personally, and I do this for my clients as well because I do in-home services for clients. So I go to their homes and I cleanse their homes, and obviously sometimes we do the first one as a consultation, or if we're able to just establish prior to my going to the home what the issues are, I will take certain crystals with me. And essentially, one of the ones I have in the bedroom near to your head is the selenite. But we can talk about selenite next week anyway. If you're going to come back on the show next week to help co-host, we'll talk about selenite then. But absolutely, selenite's one of the top ones for me, and it's certainly not a bad thing to have at your near your bed head. Anyway, that's for sure. But yeah, so look, that's rose quartz. I haven't got anything else more to add to the rose quartz one, do you?
Well, I have a list here of what archangel are associated with rose quartz. Do you want to hear?
Yeah, no, here. Yep, go.
All right. So the archangel that is associated to rose quartz are Archangel Ariel, Archangel Shamuel, Jophiel, and Haniel. The reason why is Ariel is because the energy is very pink, very red. Maybe that's the connection. But I feel that because Archangel Ariel is the angel of nature, she always promote to heal oneself naturally. So using rose quartz is a bit fixed. How do you say this? Putting a puzzle together. And then Shamuel, who is the angel of, to me, I consider Archangel Shamuel as the love angel, as well as he tend to find lost things, including lost love, or try to mend a broken heart. Archangel Jophiel, who is the angel of beauty, to beautify the energy, and Haniel, grace, bringing grace into the love energy. So working with these four angels and the energy essence of the rose quartz really helps. I find that it's really empowering.
Yep, you're right. Rose quartz will, and that's something else actually I meant to touch on, I forgot. Rose quartz will actually help in beauty therapy as well. Like I know people who rub it on their face, and it's meant to help, beautify and help, I guess, essentially stop you from aging so much. And also, it can also be used in fertility as well. So if you're trying to conceive, So essentially, you would do. Yeah, well, you could actually do the heart meditation thing I was talking about, where you're really feeling the love in the stone, and then you would rub that around your stomach as well, and really feel the love and visualize the baby and stuff like that. So yeah, it can help in that sense as well. So so that's
opening the portal.
Yep. So let's close this show up and say our goodbyes for now, because we've definitely got enough time on this one. And I want you to join me for next week's show, okay?
Of course.
Okay, cool, awesome.
I love
So thanks
it.
heaps
Thank
for
you.
joining us, and it was great to interview. I loved it. But yeah,
I love it too.
Yep, cool. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.